Okay. Is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Great. So we had started with unit number 2, correct? And we finished the first part of the unit, that is where we went through the simple present tense, correct?
Yes.
Did you guys finish the exercises?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's discuss them first quickly. ये वाला करते हैं discuss क्योंकि ये हमने क्लास में नहीं किया था, right? Tell me the answers, guys. Number 1, who's going to tell me?
Yes.
Kalyani, have you finished this exercise?
No, ma'am. Yesterday's exercises I
Yesterday
haven't
नव्हतं दिलं, हे
finished.
परवा दिलं होतं मी क्लासमध्ये.
अच्छा, okay. Let me check.
अच्छा, हाँ हे झालं. हाँ. याच्यात हे वनचं सॉरी.
You can start with exercise number 1.
नाही मॅम, ते माझं ते वन मध्ये इश्यू आले मला.
काय इश्यू आले?
1A याच्यात अँड हे ते बघा, व्हॉट डू यू डू? आय एम अ फुल टाइम स्टुडंट. आय स्टडी द पियानो. अँड हाऊ डू यू गो टू स्कूल असं आहे का ते?
हाऊ डू यू गो टू स्कूल काय येईल? तो आन्सर मध्ये काय म्हणतोय? व्हॉट इज ही सेइंग इन द आन्सर?
आई एम अ फुल टाइम स्टूडेंट. आई स्टडी द पियानो.
नहीं पापा, उसके बाद वाला.
अच्छा. I go to the Brooklyn School of Music
So
असा
what
असेल ते.
should be the question? How do you go to school को वो बोलेगा क्या? I
And
go to
where
school.
do you study? नहीं, where do you
आंसर क्या दिया अभी आपने?
I go to the
हम कब
Brooklyn School of
पूछेंगे
Music.
कि I go to Brooklyn School of Music? क्या क्वेश्चन होगा तब हम ये आंसर देंगे?
In which school you are?
पहिले
असं
केलं ना,
विचार.
वर्ब फक्त टाकायचा होता तिकडे. Where बरोबर म्हटले होते तुम्ही. You just need to put the correct verb over there. So
And
आन्सर मध्ये काय verb आहे?
where do you go to school?
हाँ.
Okay. ठीक.
Where do you work? Where do you go to school? तसंच आपण विचारतो ना. Now finish that, Ganesh.
आता याच्यानंतरचा इश्यू आहे. वाव नंतर बी इश्यू आहे. वाव.
आन्सर काय येईल?
You like your classes? I like them a lot. असं आहे त्याचा
मग
आन्सर.
काय येईल क्वेश्चन? टाका ना सगळे WH क्वेश्चन वर्ड. कोणता फिट होईल सांगा मला.
What do you like?
What do you like your
Sorry.
classes येईल?
नाही.
मग काय येईल सांगा. What नाही येणार, which नाही येणार, where नाही येणार, why नाही येणार.
How in how.
मग
अच्छा, इकडे बाजूला लिहिलंच सगळं.
नाही ते तर मी दाखवत पण नव्हते, हायलाइट नव्हतं केलं मी ते, बट अदरवाइज ऑल्सो.
तुम्ही लक्षात ठेवा त्याच्यावर.
नाही हे ते मी आता शो केले. परवा जेव्हा मी तुम्हाला स्क्रीनशॉट दिला तेव्हा दिस आय हॅव शोन यू नाउ. सो
नाही, मी आता बी डोकं लुटलं होतं पाहत नव्हतो मी.
नाही ठीक
आहे,
आहे.
जाऊ द्या.
You didn't have it, so I was trying to ask you to use logic and see काय फिट होतंय ते. ठीक आहे. Yeah, don't confuse yourself. If you confuse yourself, you'll complicate things. Don't complicate. ठीक आहे. Keep it easy. Okay, so Sudarshan, number 2.
I go to
Meanwhile,
Brooklyn.
others check your answers that you have written. Okay, जे bold मध्ये ते answers आहेत. हाँ. Yes, Sudarshan. Sorry.
Yeah, I go to Brooklyn. I
Nice.
go
Number
to
2.
the Brook.
झालं. Number 1 झालं. Number 2.
What does Tanya do?
What does
Does
Tanya
in
do?
third person that does use करतो.
Correct. Very good.
She is a teacher.
What
teaches.
does teacher do?
Teaches.
Teaches.
Yes, in third person.
Very
She teaches an arts class at the school in Denver.
Very good.
And what about Ryan? Where does he work? He works for a big computer company in San Francisco.
Okay.
And
Hmm.
where does he do?
Nine.
What does he do exactly?
What does
So
he do exactly? Hmm.
he's a web designer, and he uh, build
He designs.
design
He designs.
designs fantastic websites.
Okay. Answers correct होते सगळे लिहिलेले सगळ्यांचे.
Yes, ma'am.
Ganesh, Kalyani.
And
Yes.
Okay. Now next Kalyani. Number 3.
Uh, what do Bruce and Ivy do?
Hmm.
They work at an Italian restaurant. I'm audible, right?
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, you're audible. Continue.
They work at an Italian restaurant. It's really good.
Very good.
That's nice. What is Ivy's job?
Hmm.
Well, she manages the finances and Bruce works in the kitchen.
Very good. All answers correct?
Yeah.
सगळ्यांचे?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Ganesh, tell me the last one.
Fourth one, ka?
Hmm.
Where does Ali work?
Hmm.
He works at the university. He has a part-time job. Okay.
Hmm.
Really? What job did he do? What job?
What
What
does
does
he
he
do?
do?
Hmm.
What does he do?
Hmm.
He is in office work.
कसं काय? He
Child.
does office work. Remember I told you when we did unit 1 that most of the auxiliary verbs that we see over here, they are also used as main verbs. Correct? So
Oh,
what does he do? Does हा आपला हेल्पिंग वर्ब आहे, ऑक्झिलरी वर्ब आहे. डू हा मेन वर्ब आहे. आता परत आपण जेव्हा आन्सर मध्ये यूज करतोय ही डज ऑफिस वर्क, आपण डज मेन वर्ब म्हणून यूज करतोय. ओके, सो डोंट गेट कन्फ्युज्ड. कळलं?
okay. How does he like it?
Hmm.
Not much, but he gets some extra money to spend.
Very good. Okay, gets is a better word than has, but has पण यूज करू शकतो आपण. Yeah?
Yes.
Clear? Okay,
Yes.
great. बाकीचे तुम्ही आन्सर्स मला पाठवले नाही सुदर्शन. यू हॅवन सेंड मी दी आन्सर्स. गणेशने पाठवलेत फक्त, अजून कोणीच नाही पाठवलेत.
yes, what a
Okay. Yeah, fine. Let's continue with the conversation, the first conversation that we have. Now, while we are reading the conversation over here, I also want you guys to observe the prepositions of time over here. We have finished first part of the unit. Now, we will be looking at the second part of the unit over here. As I said, over here, I want you guys to pay attention to the prepositions of time, that is on, at, in. हे कसे यूज होतात sentences मध्ये. ठीक आहे?
Yes.
Okay, you guys can start reading the conversation. Kalyani, you can be Christina, and Ganesh, you can be taxi driver.
Okay. I need to go to National Bank downtown, please. I'm late for a meeting.
No problem. What time is your meeting?
In 10 minutes. I don't usually work in the morning.
Really? What time do you usually work? Go to school? Go to work?
I work in the afternoon. I start at 1.
That's pretty late. Do you like to work in the afternoon?
Yes, I do. I work better in the afternoon. I finish at 7 or 8. Then I go home and eat dinner at around 10:30.
Wow, you have dinner late? I go to bed every night at 8.
Really? That seems so early.
Very good. Okay, the conversation is pretty easy. Downtown, आपल्याला already माहिती आहे, main area ला आपण downtown म्हणतो, right? So here he
Yes.
asks, what time is your meeting? Then she says, I don't usually work in the morning. Then he asks, what time do you usually go to work? So basically, the taxi मध्ये बसलेली आहे and they're doing a small talk over here if you observe. Okay, then she says, I work in the afternoon. I start at 1. Okay, then she says, in 10 minutes. That's pretty late. Do you like to work in the afternoon? In the afternoon, if you observe. Then she says, yes, I do. I work better in the afternoon. I finish at 7 or 8. Then I go home and I eat dinner at around. आता at around एकत्र use होतं भरपूर वेळा. So be mindful about that also. Then he says, I have dinner late. He says, you have dinner late. I go to bed every night at 8. म्हणजे तो तिथपर्यंत झोपलेला पण असतो till the time she has dinner. Okay, now let us quickly listen to the same conversation, and now, as I said, pay attention to the prepositions. Okay.
Exercise 7. Conversation. I work in the afternoon. Part A. Listen and practice.
I need to go to National Bank downtown, please. I'm late for a meeting.
No problem. What time is your meeting?
In 10 minutes. I don't usually work in the morning.
Really? What time do you usually go to work?
I work in the afternoon. I start at 1.
That's pretty late. Do you like to work in the afternoon?
Yes, I do. I work better in the afternoon. I finish at 7 or 8, then I go home and eat dinner at around 10:30.
Wow, you have dinner late. I go to bed every night at 8 o'clock.
Really? That seems so early.
Okay, easy. Now
Yep.
we will listen to the second part of the conversation. Here you have to pay attention to two questions. What time does the taxi driver start work and what time does he finish? Okay? I'll play the conversation, the second part of the conversation.
Page 11. Exercise 7. Part B. Listen to the rest of the conversation. What time does the taxi driver start work? What time does he finish?
If you go to sleep at 8, what time do you wake up?
Pretty early. I start work at 4 in the morning.
4 in the morning? Wow. What's your typical day like?
Well, I get up at 3 a.m. Then I drive from 4 in the morning until 2 in the afternoon.
That's a long day.
Yes, but I like it. I talk to people from all over the world and see many beautiful parts of the city.
That's nice. I only see the National Bank.
Okay. So what time does the taxi driver start work?
He starts his work at 4
4 in
in the morning.
morning.
Very good. And what time does he finish, Kalyani?
It's 2 in the afternoon.
He finishes at 2 in the
Finish.
afternoon. Okay, very good. So you can say the taxi driver starts work at 4 in the morning and he finishes at 2 in the afternoon. Okay, clear?
Yes.
Very good. Let's move to the next part. Now over here, as I said, we'll look at prepositions of time. आता prepositions काय असतात ते पहिले समजून घेऊ and then we will see prepositions of time. Prepositions are those words which we use to basically relate one part of the sentence to another part of the sentence. For example, if I say the laptop, the table, does it make sense? Or if I say the laptop, the mobile, does it make sense?
No.
No. But if I say the phone is next to the laptop, the phone is next to the laptop, does it make sense? So next to
Yes.
हे basically आपले इथे prepositions झाले. Okay. Now when we talk about prepositions, there are mainly three types of prepositions. कोणते कोणते असतात? Prepositions of position, prepositions of direction and prepositions of time. ठीक आहे. Prepositions of position आणि direction आपण युनिट नंबर 8 मध्ये बघणार आहोत. आतासाठी आपण बघू prepositions of time because हे usually आपण routine साठी daily basis वरती यूज करतो and along with that we use it mostly with our simple present tense, the tense that we looked at in the first part. Okay. आता prepositions of time कोणते कोणते असतात? The first preposition that we have is the word at. Okay, the word at. At ला आपण कधी यूज करतो? To talk about exact time. एक्झॅक्ट टाइम बद्दल जर आपण बोलत आहोत तर आपण यूज करणार at. ओके. देन वी यूज द वर्ड अर्ली. अर्ली म्हणजे काय? लवकर. दिलेल्या टाइमच्या आधी जर आपण काही गोष्ट करतोय सो वी विल से अर्ली. लेट त्याचं अपोजिट झालं. सो वी विल यूज लेट वेन एव्हर वी वॉन्ट टू से की दिलेल्या टाइमपेक्षा आपण लेट काही गोष्ट करतोय और नंतर काही गोष्ट करतोय. देन वी विल यूज द वर्ड लेट. Okay, now at will also be used with the word noon and midnight. Remember I told you guys, midnight and noon are exact times. ओके, मिडनाईट म्हणजे रात्रीचे 12 वाजता आणि नून म्हणजे दुपारचे 12 वाजता. सो इफ आय से कॉल मी ॲट नून, इट मीन्स कॉल मी ॲट 12 PM. If I say I wished her at midnight, I wished her for her birthday at midnight, that means मी रात्री 12 वाजता तिला कॉल केला आणि विश केलं. Okay, so midnight and noon are exact time. So because they are exact time, we will use at with it. Okay, with them basically. Clear? Now the word at is also used to refer to night. आपण in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening म्हणतो, but night सोबत आपण at use करतो. Yeah? So next part was that की in आपण कधी use करतो, in आपण parts of days सोबत use करतो, in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. Same way I will also use in with days. Okay, days ने आपले काय ते years, months. For example, I will say in the month of October, in the month of Jan, or just in January basically, or in February. That's how I will say it. Or I will say in 2020, in 2019. Yeah. So in आपण परत त्यांच्यासोबत यूज करतो. डेज सोबत आपण यूज करतो ऑन. ठीक आहे, ऑन मंडे, ऑन ट्यूजडे, ऑन वेन्सडे. देन येतो आपला नेक्स्ट वर्ड अंटिल. अंटिल आपण कधी यूज करतो, जेव्हा आपल्याला म्हणायचं त्या टायमापर्यंत. ठीक आहे, फॉर एक्झाम्पल आय विल से आर क्लास गोज ऑन अंटिल 9 o'clock. सो 9 o'clock पर्यंत आपले क्लासेस चालतात. ओके, सो दॅट्स वेअर वी यूज अंटिल. आय वॉच TV अंटिल मिडनाईट, म्हणजे मी 12 वाजेपर्यंत TV बघते. ठीक आहे, बिफोर आणि आफ्टर, वी ऑलरेडी नो दीज वर्ड्स. बिफोर म्हणजे अगेन दिलेल्या टाईमच्या आधी आणि आफ्टर म्हणजे दिलेल्या टाईमच्या नंतर. क्लिअर? आता जे इथे वर्ड्स नाही आहेत ते आपल्यासाठी इम्पॉर्टंट होऊन जातात. इन इज ऑल्सो यूज टू टॉक अबाउट ड्युरेशन ऑफ टाईम. ठीक आहे, जसं आपण बघितलं ना, तो विचारतो की मीटिंग किती वेळात आहे. सो शी सेज इन 10 minutes. करेक्ट? सो इन इज यूज इन दॅट वे ऑल्सो. सो त्याचा मिनिंग काय होतो, वेन वी वॉन्ट टू हायलाइट अँड से की किती वेळात आपली ती ॲक्शन आहे. सो आता आहे ना, इथे इन आणि विदिन सोबत खूप वेळा कन्फ्युजन होतं. ठीक आहे, की इन कधी यूज करायचं आणि विदिन कधी यूज करायचं. इन हे आपण म्हणतोय की जो आपण टाइम म्हणतोय, फॉर एक्झाम्पल इन 10 minutes, देन 10 minutes एंड होतील तेव्हा जर ॲक्शन होणार असेल तर वी विल यूज इन. ओके, बट जर आपण म्हणतोय की त्या ज्या ड्युरेशनला आपण रिफर करतोय त्याच्या आधी पण ते ॲक्शन होऊ शकते, तर आपण म्हणतो विदिन. ओके, फॉर एक्झाम्पल आय कॅन से वी विल फिनिश विदिन 10 minutes. सो 10 minutesच्या आधी पण संपू शकतो किंवा 10 minutes मॅक्झिमम ती ॲक्शन चालेल. ओके, another example, I can say I shall be back in a week. That means I will be back when the week is over. But if I say I shall be back within a week, म्हणजे before the week is over I will be here. ठीक आहे, खूप स्लाइट डिफरन्स आहे, बट व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट डिफरन्स, बिकॉज याच्यामध्ये आपण कन्फ्युजन करतो आणि यांना आपण युजली इंटरचेंजेबली यूज करतो, बट वी कॅन नॉट यूज देम इंटरचेंजेबली. क्लिअर?
Yes.
ओके, नेक्स्ट येतं बाय. आता बाय पण आपण सेम वे मध्ये यूज करतो टू से दॅट मॅक्झिमम टाइम दी ॲक्शन विल टेक टू गेट ओव्हर. सो सेम वे आय विल से आवर क्लास विल बी ओव्हर बाय 9 o'clock. ठीक आहे, तर मॅक्झिमम टाइम दॅट ॲक्शन विल गो ऑन फॉर. सो बाय 9 o'clock वी विल बी डन. 9च्या पुढे ती ॲक्शन जाणार नाही, हे मी हायलाइट करत आहे इथे. ठीक आहे, नेक्स्ट येतं फॉर आणि सिन्स. हे आपण इंटरचेंजेबली यूज करतो आणि मॅक्झिमम टाइम अगेन चुकीच्या वेळी यूज करतो. फॉर इज यूज्ड टू टॉक अबाउट ड्युरेशन ऑफ द ॲक्शन, की किती वेळ ती ॲक्शन चालू आहे. Okay, for example I will say I have been taking back to back classes for 4 hours now. Okay, so I'm saying कि कितनी वेळ मी तो action करत आहे. But since I will use the word since to refer to start time of the action. So same sentence I can put it with since by saying I have been in back to back classes since 4 o'clock. So मी इथे refer करते कि कधी ती ॲक्शन स्टार्ट झाली पहिली गोष्ट म्हणजे, आणि दुसरा रूल येतो सेन्सचा की दी ॲक्शन स्टील नीड्स टू बी गोइंग ऑन. ओके, ती ॲक्शन अजूनही चालू पाहिजे. दॅट इज अनदर रूल फॉर सेन्स. दुसरं येतो द वर्ड फ्रॉम. आय कॅन से आर क्लासेस आर फ्रॉम 8 PM to 9 PM. राईट. सो आपण इथे अगेन ड्युरेशन ऑफ अन ॲक्शन म्हणतोय फ्रॉम आणि टू. ओके, युजली एकत्र यूज केले जातात, और वी यूज फ्रॉम अँड टिल. ठीक आहे, माय क्लास इज फ्रॉम 8 till 9 असं तुम्ही म्हणू शकता. क्लिअर?
येस.
ॲट ऑन इन सगळे झाले का? एकच मिनिट बघते मी. या ऑन डेट सोबत पण यूज होतो. ठीक आहे, ऑन डेट सोबत पण यूज होतो. रिमेंबर दॅट. नाव नेक्स्ट रूल दॅट वी हॅव इज हाऊ टू टॉक अबाउट क्लॉक टाइम. या आता क्लॉक टाइम रेफर करण्याचे वेगवेगळे वेज असतात. Yeah, the first way that we express the clock time is by saying 7 AM 7 PM. Correct?
Yes.
Then we can say 7 in the morning or 7 in the evening. Right? Now 7 AM आपण कधी म्हणतो? सकाळचे 7 वाजता. राईट. रात्रीचे 12 वाजेपासून दुपारचे 12 वाजेपर्यंत इट इज AM. दुपारचे 12 वाजेपासून रात्रीचे 12 वाजेपर्यंत इट इज PM. वी नो दॅट. राईट. आता सेम वे आपण ओ क्लॉक पण रेफर करतो. ओ क्लॉक आपण कधी यूज करतो? ओनली विथ राऊंड टाइम. सो आय विल से 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. 8:30 o'clock नाही म्हणू शकत मी. इट्स इनकरेक्ट. ठीक आहे. नाव अनदर वे टू एक्सप्रेस टाइम इज बाय सेइंग इट इज 7, sorry, it
Kind
is
of.
7:30. What do we mean by this? It is 7:30. मी स्क्रीन वरती लिहिलंय, if you guys can see. It is
7:30.
7:30.
7.5.
7:30.
Yes.
7.5 नसतं, 7:30. कल्याणी?
7:30. Yeah,
Okay, Sudarshan?
past 7.
7:30.
Okay. If I say it is quarter to, एक मिनिट, quarter to 7.
6:45.
Okay. If I say it is quarter past 7.
7:15.
Ganesh,
7:15.
it is quarter past 7.
Yes. 7:15.
नक्की?
Past.
काय past?
Quarter past 7, right? 7.
It's correct. Okay, it's
7:15.
7:15. This is your 6:45. And this is 7:30.
30.
Now, here the words to and past are very important. So, as I usually say, remember it with the reference of pizza. As I told you guys before, I take food examples a lot. Okay? Because it's easier to remember. So now, when you buy a small pizza, regular size pizza, right? How many parts is it divided into? How many slices do you get? Small, regular wala.
4.
We get 4 slices. मोठा वाला येतो मीडियम आणि लार्ज, त्याच्यामध्ये 8 स्लाइसेस येतात. नाउ वी आर रिफरिंग टू द स्मॉलर वन ओवर हियर, जो पर्सनल पिझ्झा पण म्हणतात भरपूर वेळेस. सो इट इज डिवायडेड इनटू 4 पार्ट्स. ओके. नाउ that one part is your quarter. Okay. Now imagine your clock as a pizza over here. Yeah. And that one slice or one quarter is of 15 minutes. I know तुम्हाला concept माहिती आहे, but still I'm clarifying the concept. ठीक है? Imagine that one slice or one quarter has 15 minutes. So we are dividing our clock into 4 parts again, and one part is one quarter. One quarter equals to 15 minutes. Okay? So 1 quarter equals to 15 minutes. So hence we use quarter. If I'm saying quarter past 7, that means 7 वाजून 1 quarter झालाय. That is the reason to and past are very important words over here. To म्हणजे still that much time remaining. Okay, हे असंच लिहा, जसं मी लिहिलं तसं. आणि इफ आय से पास्ट मीन्स टाइम होऊन गेलाय, टाइम हैज पास्ट. ठीक है, और पास्ट वी कैन से. या सो एक क्वार्टर आहे आपला 15 मिनिट्सचा. इफ आय एम सेइंग 2 दॅट मीन्स तेवढा टाइम बाकी आहे. इफ आय एम सेइंग पास्ट दॅट मीन्स तेवढा टाइम होऊन गेलाय. Yeah, that is the reason to and past are very important words over here. So if I say it is half past 7, that means 7 वाजून half an hour झालाय. Okay, if I say it is quarter to 7, that means it is 7 वाजायला क्वार्टर बाकी आहे एक, that means 6:45. ठीक आहे. आता युजली याच्यामध्येच कन्फ्युजन होतं. पास्टवाला तरी पण आपण समजून घेतो, पण जो आधीचा टाइम असतो ना 2 वाला, तो थोडासा कन्फ्युजिंग होऊन जातो इफ यू आर नॉट पेइंग अटेन्शन. आता तुम्ही क्लासमध्ये होते सो ऑफकोर्स यू आर पेइंग अटेन्शन, बट अदरवाइज वेन यू आर इन युअर ओन थॉट्स वी गेट कन्फ्यूज विथ सच काइंड ऑफ टाइमिंग्स. ठीक आहे. इट इज क्वार्टर पास्ट 7, दॅट मीन्स एक क्वार्टर 7 o'clock होऊन गेला आहे. ठीक आहे. सेम वे आपण युजली मिनिट्स पण रिफर करतो. इट इज 20 past 7. ओके, इट इज 20 to 8 असं पण खूप लोक रिफर करतात. वी डोंट नीड टू, बट स्टिल पीपल रिफर टू इट इन दॅट वे. ठीक आहे. सो दॅट्स हाऊ वी यूज इट. एनी कन्फ्युजन विथ दिस? I usually say that stick to normal timings. Just say 7:15, 7:20, 7:30. It's easier. Don't complicate yourself, because कधी कधी आपण काही कामात असेल तर आपण लक्ष नाही देत, and sometimes the other people don't understand. Even if we know, the other person that you're talking to, they might not understand what you're trying to say. So if you say let's meet at quarter to 7, they'll be like quarter to 7 म्हणजे, then you have to clarify, अरे 6:45. राईट, होतं ना असं भरपूर वेळा.
Yes.
होतच. I also used to get confused. Okay, till the time I started teaching, I used to get confused a lot with this concept. मला हा कॉन्सेप्ट कळायला खूप टाइम लागला, तर म्हणूनच मी हा क्लासमध्ये आपल्या सिलेबसमध्ये नाही आहे. आय हॅव इन्क्लुडेड दिस फॉर यू गाईज बिकॉज मेनी पीपल गेट कन्फ्यूज विथ दिस कॉन्सेप्ट. ठीक आहे. मीच 25 वर्ष कन्फ्यूज व्हायचे. सो दॅट इज द रिझन आय यूज इट इन माय सिलेबस. आय क्लॅरिफाय. And yes, if you are able to use, if you know the concept, try using it. But make sure the other person also knows how to use it. Okay? Clear?
Yes.
Okay, very good. 1 minute. Write this down quickly. मी ग्रुपमध्ये पण शेअर करते बाकीचे जे प्रेपोजिशन्स मी एक्सप्लेन केले, द रूल्स फॉर द अदर प्रेपोजिशन्स बेसिकली. आणि गाईज प्लीज ग्रुपमध्ये मेसेज करत जा अटेंडिंग का नॉट अटेंडिंग म्हणून, की काय होतं ना, खूप सारे ग्रुप्स आहेत, सो चॅट खाली चालला जातो. ठीक आहे. वेन यू डू थम्स अप इट डझंट कम अप.
Okay.
मला उघडून बघावं लागतं. आय मिस आउट ऑन चॅट्स देन. When I'm in back-to-back classes, it gets very difficult to open messages and see. Now हर्षदने thumbs down केला तर मी आत्ता बघितलं. When you message ते बरोबर पॉपअप होतं ना.
Yes.
Done.
Ma'am, the question is the last one on Fridays, right? So yes, for Lavinka, days ना Friday, Thursdays. Preposition चे सगळ्यात शेवटचा column. Pro.
Sorry, I was on mute. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah. As I was saying, yes, S पण लागेल. Why? Because here we are talking about repeated action. Correct? So जेव्हा आपण repeated action म्हणतोय तर आपण S add करणार because we are talking about every Friday. Okay, so for example you will say every Fridays or on Fridays basically I have a meeting at 1 p.m. On Fridays I have a meeting at 1 p.m. So you're talking about every Friday, so that is the reason we are adding S to it. And as we saw in simple present tense, we are talking about repeated action, no? So that's the reason. So जर every फ्रायडे किंवा एव्हरी मंडे किंवा एव्हरी ट्यूजडे कोणताही वीक ऑफ डे ऑफ द वीक जो तुम्ही म्हणताय जर ती ॲक्शन होते तर तुम्ही एस ॲड करू शकता. बट इफ यू आर रिफरिंग टू ओनली वन फ्रायडे देन यू विल नॉट ॲड एस. Clear?
Yes.
Okay, for example, Ganesh is usually absent on Fridays. Right? That's how we will say.
That's the
Yes, I have seen a pattern. So I will say Ganesh is usually absent on Fridays. Okay, so when it's a repeated action on every Friday, then you add S to it. But एखाद्या मंडेला जर गणेश absent असेल तर we will say, okay, Ganesh was absent on Monday. असं. Clear?
yes.
Yeah, now you guys will remember this example.
Definitely.
Okay, then writing.
Yes.
Okay, let's try solving the exercise now quickly. Here you have two options, you have to select one which is correct.
Done.
Sudarshan, Kalyani, are you guys also done?
No, no.
Yeah, we can start.
Okay. First four. Kalyani, you tell me the answers.
Okay. I get up at 6 on weekdays.
Mhm.
I have lunch at 11:30 on Mondays.
Very
I
good.
have, I have snack uh, around 10 at night.
Mhm.
On Fridays, I leave school early.
Very good. Sudarshan, next four.
Uh, fourth, right? Fifth, right?
Yes.
I stay up until 1 a.m. on weekends.
Hmm.
Then I sleep around noon on
Until noon.
Sundays.
Until noon.
Until
संडेजला लेट पण झोपतो ना आपण.
okay.
जर तुम्ही उठत असाल लवकर तर माहित नाही. आय स्लीप अंटिल नून ऑन संडेज. या. सो दॅट्स द करेक्ट आन्सर ओव्हर हियर.
Until use करा सर मॅम.
येस.
Around
अंटिल.
around
अंटिल. अराउंड कधी येईल जेव्हा तुम्ही सकाळी उठून परत दुपारी झोपताय तेव्हा. ओके. बट युजली ऑन संडेज वी स्लीप टिल लेट. राईट. सो दॅट्स द रिझन इट्स अंटिल ओव्हर हियर. कळलं?
7. Yep. Seventh one is I have dinner at 7 on weeknights.
Correct.
Eighth one is I read a book before I go to sleep.
Correct. You can't read a book after you go to sleep. Okay. Yeah, it's not technically possible. Yeah. Okay. Ganesh, last 4.
On weekends, I go to bed at 1 p.m. or 1 a.m.
1 a.m. Yeah.
On Thursday, I leave work at 9 p.m.
Very good.
I work late on Wednesday.
Hmm.
I study I study until 11 after dinner.
Very good. Kaila?
Yes.
Any confusion? All your answers are correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Last exercise that we have in our unit 2, that is speaking आपण उद्या करणार आहोत पूर्ण. Last exercise that we have in unit 2, that is the listening exercise. Here we will listen to Aaron, Madison and Kyla who are talking about their daily schedules. Okay, so we'll listen to it and then we will fill in the chart also along with listening. ठीक आहे, चार्ट दिलेला आहे, तसाच fill in करायचा आहे. Now tomorrow remember and remind me also that we have to do speaking practice based on unit number 2. Okay, म्हणजे आपण ते सगळं skip केलेलं आहे. So make sure you remind me. Yeah, ready? Shall I play the audio?
Yes.
Page 12. Exercise 10. Listening. What hours do you work? Part A. Listen to Aaron, Madison, and Kayla talk about their daily schedules. Complete the chart.
What do you do, Aaron?
I'm a carpenter.
Oh, yeah? So what hours do you work?
I work 8 hours a day from Monday to Friday. I get up around 6 a.m. and I work from 7 a.m. until 3 p.m. I get home pretty early, about 4 p.m. I go to bed at 10. And what do you do, Madison?
Well, I'm an accountant. It's a regular 9 to 5 office job, so I get up at 7 a.m. and get home around 6 p.m. That's okay, though, because I like to go out at night. I go to bed around midnight on weekdays.
What about you, Kayla?
Well, my hours are a bit different. I'm a nurse. I start work at 11 at night. I work until 7 a.m. Wow! So what time do you get up? I get home at 8 and go to bed at about 8:30, and I sleep until 4 p.m.
And what do you do in the evenings?
Oh, you know, I have dinner, watch TV, see friends. It's a great schedule for me.
Okay, did you get all the answers?
No.
No?
Madison goes to bed. Tirana.
Okay. Sudarshan, Kalyani, did you guys get the answers?
Actually, we Kailash or next one.
Okay, I will replay it. Please pay attention, okay?
Page 12. Exercise 10. Listening. What hours do you work? Part A. Listen to Aaron, Madison, and Kayla talk about their daily schedules. Complete the chart.
What do you do, Aaron?
I'm a carpenter.
Oh, yeah? So what hours do you work?
I work 8 hours a day from Monday to Friday. I get up around 6 a.m. and I work from 7 a.m. until 3 p.m. I get home pretty early, about 4 p.m. I go to bed at 10. And what do you do, Madison?
Well, I'm an accountant. It's a regular 9 to 5 office job, so I get up at 7 a.m. and get home around 6 p.m. That's okay, though, because I like to go out at night. I go to bed around midnight on weekdays.
What about you, Kayla?
Well, my hours are a bit different. I'm a nurse. I start work at 11 at night. I work until 7 a.m.
Wow, so what time do you get up?
I get home at 8 and go to bed at about 8:30, and I sleep until 4 p.m.
And what do you do in the evenings?
Oh, you know, I have dinner, watch TV, see friends. It's a great schedule for me.
Did you guys get the answers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Tell me the answers.
Okay. Carpenter
Hmm.
goes to bed at
10
10 p.m.
10 p.m. Very good.
Madison is an accountant.
Hmm.
She gets at home at 6 p.m. She sleeps at midnight on weekdays.
Correct. Very good.
Kyla is a nurse. She gets up at 4 p.m. and gets home at 8 a.m. She goes to bed at 8:30 a.m.
4 p.m.
Okay, so yes, her schedule is a bit different if you guys observed. Why?
because she is nurse and night
She's
shift.
a
8
nurse.
a.m.
She works in shifts basically, right? So she
Yes.
gets home at 8
8 a.m.
a.m. Clear?
Yes.
हे तर jobs तर समजलं ना तुम्हाला? Carpenter, accountant and nurse. Okay? And you have the right answers on the screen. I have shared the right answers in the group as well. If there is any confusion, you can go through the script also. I have shared it. Okay? Now, according to you, what do you think? Who do you think has the best daily schedule and why?
I think Madison best schedule.
Okay.
Because
Why do you think so?
she uh, gets up at around 7 a.m. on the day.
Hmm.
It's a little bit late. And also gets home at 6 p.m. only. So it was just 9 hours for the day.
Okay, and she gets the evening hours free also.
Yeah.
Right? What do
She's
you
sleep.
Sorry. Go on.
She sleep.
She sleeps.
She goes to bed at midnight on weekdays only, right? So
Correct.
she has so much time.
Exactly. Lot of time. So much time. Lot of time also. Very good. Kalyani, what do you think? Who has the best
I think
schedule?
Carpenter also has a good schedule because he starts early. He wakes up at 6 a.m. and starts his work at 7. And he also finishes his work in the afternoon. And then he gets free time after 4 p.m. And then he sleeps early.
Yep.
10
Okay.
p.m. is best time. Yeah.
Okay. Ganesh, what do you think?
Okay, Kyla has a great schedule, by the way. She got a night shift.
Okay.
She gets to sleep at morning and around she sleeps around 4 p.m. and after that she has a time of about 7 hours free time that she can do another activities.
Yeah, but if you know that when you're working in odd shifts, even if you get that free time, no, that's not very productive. You
Yes,
tend to spend that time in sleeping. Even if you have got, say, 4 hours extra, but still you will sleep because it's an odd timing that you're working at. Because we are used to sleeping at night, right?
yes,
That's the whole reason. Like when I was working in HPE, when I used to work in shifts, even though I had a lot of time during the day, but I still used to spend it sleeping. And it was same for the other employees also, my other colleagues also, the ones who were working at night shifts. So they were working at shift from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. So I also used to tell them that, बहुत time मिलता होगा आप लोगों को. They are like, we reach home at 8, we go to sleep, and we directly get up at 6 in the evening. That is just before their office timing. So it totally depends again. If you are used to it, then it's fine. Some people are just used to being awake at night. तो वो अलग बात हो जाती है. But if you're not used to, then it messes up your biological clock basically. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so we'll stop over here for today. Next, you guys have a reading exercise which you will do for homework. I will share the PDF with you guys. Make sure you finish it. As I said, tomorrow we are going to do lot of speaking practice. So make sure before that you go through simple present tense and you go through prepositions also, so that when we are doing the speaking practice yesterday, you have the correct vocab to use. Okay?
Yes.
Clear?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
and revise simple present tense properly, because it's something that we are going to see again and again and again. It's little difficult to use, but it is the most used tense. Okay?
Yes.
Any confusion, any doubts, anything that you did not understand?